Okay, so let's get started with this one. Oh. Okay, so the position is white to play. Here you can see white is actually already up a pawn, and we are trying
Mhm.
to figure out what's the best way for white to actually convert this one. Mm.
I don't see anything, but I mean, initially I was considering like maybe I can try to trap the knight, but it doesn't seem like there is a concrete way,
Mm-hmm.
although I'm not sure. I feel like the knight can go to A4 or something to try to get out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I still feel like maybe there is a way to kind of take advantage of that knight situation. There's gotta be. That's gotta be part of the plan here. The other thing I was looking at is potentially like, F6 looks kind of weak, like bishop D4, knight F6 type of stuff, maybe a potential. But I think it's going to be kind of tricky to get those moves in given the situation. Um, what else? I feel like there's got to be a way to trap the knight or something. So like I've been calculating rook C2, knight A4, rook C4, knight B2, rook B4. The knight gets out through D3. And if I want to protect the D3 square, then the knight goes to A4.
Basically, I think there are just two main things we need to consider actually, and you're probably right. One is to figure out how to trap the knight. If we are not able to trap the knight, then how do we generally improve our position? Yeah, like how will we win? Because you can see white has an extra pawn here. So
Yeah, I just noticed that actually.
mhm.
So, whew. Yeah. Okay, so Let me think about this just in terms of just improving my pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe we should just play rook from the D file or something like rook C2, rook D2 type of something like that to give some
Okay.
support to D5 knight to stop any sort of F5 type of moves. And I like here's what I would do. I would put the rook on D2. I would move the bishop on that long diagonal on D4. And I would that like those are the next two things I want to do. And then I want to play like, F4 and put the king on like F3 or something like that, or maybe E3, sorry. Those are the next
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 moves I want to do in this position.
Okay,
So
so basically,
the
rook c2.
something like that, yeah. But I'm just not sure about Black's counterplay on like what will he do in this time? Like he'll go to knight e5, like you said here.
So here you cannot play rook d2. This is falling.
Right. It's another problem. So maybe in that scenario, I just let that knight perhaps sit there for the time being and just try to improve my pawns. Maybe like maybe the problem is f5 is coming. So I really want to play f4, but I don't want to commit.
Okay, so now I think you also figured out what is black's counterplay. Yeah, if you remember, we talked about it that it's not only just our pawn breaks, we should also be looking for our opponent's pawn breaks as well.
Yeah.
So how do we stop that first?
G4? Is that
G4, you mean?
I mean the move he wants to play is f5.
Yes.
I don't want him to play f5. So g4 looks like maybe I mean that stops f5, but then there's now um maybe that's fine. After knight e5, I can just like, play h3 or something to hold it. I feel
Yeah.
like he's gonna put pressure. He's certainly not gonna just sit there. He's gonna play like, I don't know, maybe even h5
In this case, H5. I
after
mean,
knight
still
e5.
H. Ah, okay. Here.
I think we have in between move now though. F4, knight check, king f2, knight h4, knight g3, knight g6. Then we have f5, right?
I mean, even if we don't have F5, I don't see what black has.
Yeah, we made a bunch of progress actually. The knight just danced around.
Yeah, maybe we can play F5 ourselves.
Mm-hmm. This would be nice, yeah. The knight is completely out of
Mhm.
play. That was the only main, you know, F stopping F5 is the main thing, I think.
Yes.
That is like Black's major counterplay, in my opinion.
Actually, actually, yes, it's very correct. In this position, I think all we have to do is if we stop f5, then automatically there is no play for black. Yeah. Then we can slowly improve your position. I mean, our position.
Hmm.
So I think in the game, white pretty much did the exact same thing that you mentioned. Just white started with g4.
Hmm.
So g4, knight d3, rook c3, knight e5, and h3.
Hmm.
And now it's actually not very clear, yeah, what exactly black will do. Because now, to be honest, black can only wait. And
Yeah.
white gradually improved his position. So black played rook e8, king g2, so that
But hold
f3 is.
on.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, gotcha. I see why. I was gonna say why not F4, but I see it. Knight moves, then E4 is hanging.
Yes. I mean, that's why white is first bringing all his pieces closer to e4.
Hmm.
So king g2, rook c8. And here also you see white first played f3. Now white wants to play h4, h5, h6, something like this.
Why didn't he play F4 in that position?
I think you can play. I mean, here you can play f4 as well. There is no problem. But this is just to show that white doesn't have to pretty much weaken anything and still be completely better in the position. So normally, whenever we are playing a situation like this with an extra pawn, if we somehow manage to like stop your opponent's only hope of counterplay, plus you also need to identify which side you should be playing for, yeah, because there is always this minority side or the majority side. So in this case, the majority side is working fine. Yeah, we need to expand on the side where we are better,
Hmm.
and that should be enough in this game. But the major problem or the main thing where people can actually go wrong in this position is to chase the knight and play f4 and allowing f5 for black.
Hmm.
So if you
Yeah,
stop
that E4
that,
pawn
it's
is
fine.
crucial.
Yes, this pawn is very important. Yeah, actually.
Right. It's holding everything together. Like bishop and rook are both out of play because of the D4 knight, and only support of D4 knight is E4. So we're
Mm-hmm.
stopping every counterplay with this move actually.
Yeah.
Because the moment that bishop becomes active or the rook becomes active, then I think we're gonna lose most of our advantage, right?
Yes. I mean,
Hmm.
it will be like slightly difficult for us, yeah, to after that, I mean, after that, if you want to convert, it's gonna be difficult for us. So better to keep the pawn, defend the pawn, hold the position together, and basically ask black what he wants to do. Because you can already see black is playing moves like rook e8 and rook c8, yeah? It clearly means he doesn't have a plan here already.
Hmm.
Actually, I don't think actually black has, I mean, black has to wait and watch in such situation, which is automatically very difficult.
Hmm.
And in the game, I think black played bishop d5 after this. Yeah, bishop b5, knight b6, rook c7, a4. And this is what I was just telling you that in these cases, black has to wait patiently, but players don't like to just wait and watch passively, how they are getting steamrolled.
Can
So
can you go
black,
back a couple of moves real quick? Can you go back
yeah,
a couple of
sure.
moves?
Yeah.
After bishop b5, why did he play knight b6?
No particular reason, but I think just to have a possibility of bishop d5.
So why not just a4 right away and a5?
Here,
Um, maybe, yeah, I mean, why not?
yeah, I think you can play there. I don't see any problems. I mean, okay, you might have to think about this, but I don't think it's like doing anything special. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, some pressure on the c5 pawn, and there is a
Yeah.
tactics. I think.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
relying on kind of a lot of counterplays, so I can
I mean,
see.
I'll just show you the tactics which White did after here. So here White played bishop f4, knight d3, and bishop c4. I think this is the point because now when you play king knight e1, king f2, bishop c4, White has this trick of knight c4 because you cannot play rook c4. Yeah, the knight goes and picks this up.
Mhm.
So I think this is the only reason. If directly you would have played a4 here, bishop e2, f4 here, and bishop c4. I think here knight e1 works, yeah, because he will take this and knight d3 comes and this pawn might fall.
Mm.
I mean, again, it's probably like a matter of choice and conversion, yeah. Like, do you actually want to? Because here white is already in the driver's seat, so do you want to allow all this or not? I think it's more about that. Just
So
because
what
knight,
was
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that just because knight c4 was existing and the knight gets trapped here, I think that's why maybe White chose to start with that other move order in particular.
Got it. So, okay. Go back to where right before he played bishop b5. Go back one more move. What was White's move here before he played bishop b5?
F3.
Okay, so instead of playing f3, can we play a4 here?
Just A4 here.
Mm-hmm.
I think perfectly playable.
But I guess and without f3, probably White wouldn't even play bishop b5, right? He only came there because to hit the f3 pawn and get the d3
I
square.
guess yes. I guess yes. I think F3,
Maybe
I
his
mean, yeah, sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, okay, so if we're approaching this from a pure standpoint of stop any and all counterplay because we have an extra pawn and we have good pieces, to
Mm-hmm.
me, a4 makes more sense because black's only counterplay in that position was bishop b5 and bishop knight d3, right? So we're taking that
So
away. Unless there is any
I think
counterplay that I'm missing from black.
I think knight d7 might be another try.
He wants to put three pieces on c5, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
So,
just want to take and like take maybe.
hmm, interesting.
I think it was kind of, I don't know, just makes sense that you just play f3 and actually stop every possibility, yeah. And then knight b6 also was probably aimed at stopping knight d7 for the future as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think this is the only way. Like, okay, let me just check with this. Okay, so you can see computer, of course, prefers f3 here and knight b6 as well. And already it's checked just +4 all of a sudden, yeah. But I don't think, for example, when you're saying a4, I don't think a4 is that bad. But yeah, there is a small drop in the advantage, but nothing serious. So I
Got
think, yeah,
it.
you can start with a4 as well. There is no problem. Just I think white was a bit provocative with a4 because white really wanted him to play bishop e2 because that's what somebody will play, yeah, when they're trying to look for some counterplay in the position. Although black definitely should have just waited with bishop c6 or even bishop e8 as the computer says. Because after bishop e2, there was this trick of f4, knight d3, bishop c4, knight e1, king f2, takes, it's all forcing. Now the knight is trapped, but black had a
Why
tactics.
was the computer
Yeah,
suggesting this knight f4? Doesn't that lose a piece?
no, but he's anyway losing a piece. That's the thing. Black is losing a piece anyway. That maybe that's why the computer is suggesting to give it up right now.
Hmm.
Because that's what I was just about to show you that in this position, since the knight is trapped, I mean, in the game, black thought he's getting away with it with bishop c5. The whole point was this, and black thought he's winning back the piece with b5. But there is the back rank issue, yeah. So takes, and rook d3.
Yeah.
So here I think the biggest reason is that, I mean, in this position itself, where else can black go now? I think the knight is trapped already. Yeah, this is not possible, not possible, not
Mm.
possible. All moves taken care of already. Yeah, the bishop is pinned.
Hmm.
So yeah, knight f4 seems like the okay, just you give up. It's more like that. But that's
Hmm.
why he provoked actually. I mean, here also I think black should have gone back, but this is just very easy for us, yeah, because we exchange, play this, then put bishop d5 maybe.
Right.
I mean, this is already like simply winning for white, you can say. But okay, the main gist of the position was to understand that when even if we are trying to improve our positions, it's important to stop our opponent's breaks as well.
Main takeaway.
Yeah, that's the main takeaway. So, I mean, starting with g4, yeah, in the position. Also, you can see, I mean, I'll just show you this with the computer. You see, the computer is also starting with f3, yeah. But if you mark at, I mean, if you look at g4, the evaluation pretty much is the same. Yeah, there is not a lot of changes here. But f3 also, it's like a prophylactic move, yeah, because it's somehow designed against f5. Because the moment f5 is coming, you can see he's going knight b4, and he's just transforming the position into like a double bishop and a simple extra pawn winning kind of situation.
How did this line start again? Show me from the beginning.
F3.
Instead of g4, right?
Yeah.
This is the computer wants to play. This is what the computer is saying.
The computer wants to say that after I mean, the computer is going g4 anyway. Like the computer variation is like this: knight d3, rook c3, knight here, bishop, I think d4, bishop e8, and g4. This is what the computer is recommending.
Mm, makes sense. Yeah.
So you can see it's pretty much the same, yeah, then to start with G4. I mean, at least the idea is the same, main idea of the position.
Right.
Okay, so we'll go to the next one. Let's try an attempt. Okay, let's try with this one first. Okay, it's white to play.
I've lost so many games in these kind of positions from the white side because
Mm-hmm.
white always feels like there's a massive advantage, which there
Yeah,
is, but when the position opens up, oftentimes there are so many weaknesses from the pawn moves, and we forget about all that.
that's correct. So that's why I said that need to find the best way here, or at least some way which offers no counterplay to black.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I feel like I want to play. I'm not sure, honestly. What kind of break would I do here or try to do? Like F G3, F4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think
that's
that's
gotta be. I
the
mean, that's the only thing.
only break, yeah.
So maybe I before I do that, first of all, I need to make sure I'm securing this G4 square from any kind of
Very good.
tactics.
Okay.
That's one thing. So I got to think about where to move the queen and stuff to stop any kind of ideas there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to probably put at least a rook behind the F pawn before I push it. Then I'm gonna take on E5 no matter what. Try to at least open either the D file or F file. And if, you know, uh yeah, I have to play G3 then F4 maybe. Because if I play F4 directly, maybe he gets that E5 square for one of his knights. Maybe he'll play knight F7 and knight E5 very quickly. So maybe I have to
Mm.
follow up G with G3 first. Maybe.
So here, I think, Ravi, you have pretty much got the right plan in the position. And like definitely need to take care of the G4 square and then try for G3 F4, yeah, which should be good enough to completely open up the position. It's also important to notice that Black's well-placed pieces on the queen side, they don't have any particular future, yeah, like they're just looking good, but they don't have any counterplay on the side. So it's
Maybe
more
he'll
about
play like rook B1, trade the rook on A1 and play the other one to B1. But I think like still, yeah, I can probably just play like King H2 or something, right? Worst case scenario.
Uh, yes, of course, that's always a possibility, but I'm not so sure also
He can't even
like
move the knight
how.
without dropping the A pawn.
Yeah, exactly. So I think whenever he goes here, I'll just pick up the pawn, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, rook b1 is not in particular a threat. Like after he plays rook b1, I can even come back bishop c3, for example. Like everything is defended.
Sure.
Okay. So I realized that, I mean, the plan which white made here obviously is like a very great plan. Uh, White played queen d2. So there is no fixed move order solution to this one, but I just want to show you the plan and also what exactly white was trying to do. So black waited, knight h7, white played bishop e2, king f7, and queen d1.
Mm. Nice.
Okay. So
So he did
g4
not
square
play
is
one of the rooks to the
to f
F square.
to f1.
Yeah.
He will do that after he executes the first phase of the plan. So now bishop e7. Now white played knight f1, bishop d8, and knight h2.
Knight H2, yeah.
And king g8, and white finally played bishop g4.
Really?
So this white had to
Oh, to
actually,
stop any sort of things on
yes,
G4 at all, completely.
yeah. Basically, white had to say that, I mean, while thinking about f4, I also
Yeah,
realized that all the pawns are on the dark squares. So let me
right.
just
Even with that
trade
bishop.
these two guys, which
Yeah.
opens up f5 square for my knight, g4 square for something, g6, I already have a knight. So after that, if I get f4, I think it should be game over, yeah, because the light squares are completely under my control.
Mhm.
So which led black to play f5 himself. I think first black played knight g5, bishop d7, queen d7, and now again white played knight f1. So this is the plan now.
Got it.
And now he had to play f5. So takes, and knight g3. Queen f7. Because now when f5 was played, like when already black had made the move f5, now white doesn't need g3 f4, yeah? White can actually just play queen e2, rook f1 and f4. G3 f4 is only necessary when black had a pawn here. Because now we need to kick the knight out, yeah? Here directly
Right.
f4 won't make any sense because the pawn is still here. He will just take and okay, he will wait how you are breaking through again.
Yeah.
But
No, I
since
wouldn't
black
play
has
f4 without the g3. Yeah.
even here,
Here, I would consider it. I would first want to play rook f1, though, I think.
yeah, I think white did play rook f1. After bishop
Right.
f6, white played rook f1, yeah. Rook f1 and f4.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
queen d7, f4, f4, rook f4, bishop c3, rook c3. So basically what happened is when white successfully opened up the e file and the f file in the game, now black needs all these things to transfer to the king side, yeah, as quickly as possible, which
Yeah.
I don't see happening like anytime soon. It's difficult, yeah, to achieve all these things.
Hmm.
Black lost in a few moves actually. Black played rook e8, rook e3, rook b8, queen f2, knight h7, knight f5. There is just no stopping white, yeah? His pieces are all like gaining access to the major squares.
Hmm.
Knight e3, queen e3, knight here. I think knight g e7 came. Yeah, knight g7 and white, what knight h6. And okay, black's position is lost already here. So this, I mean, this plan, yeah, of this queen d2, bishop e2, queen d1, this is very nice, very strategic, you can say. So basically, it's like a catalyst to this f4, yeah?
What did you say was the two? I mean, the plan of f4 is the only one. I think anybody would see that g3 and f4 has to be played. What was the
Yeah.
nice part about it, you said?
I mean, it was more like a catalyst to f4. Basically, whatever you would have achieved by directly playing f4, somehow, if you exchange the bishops, somehow white is achieving more than like just f4. So white
So
gains
trading the
access.
bishops was a key idea also for this thing.
Yes, training, I
Like
mean,
I had
trading the
to
bishops
identify that.
was, yes, that is, I mean, I'm not saying it's the only idea, but it's definitely a great idea.
Yeah,
So,
I
like
didn't
when you,
consider that actually, to be honest
yeah,
with you. I
because
didn't
see,
think
when,
about trading bishops.
yeah, just let's have a look at the computer solution. Computer is playing queen d2, but it's for a completely different reason, as I can see. Like rook a7, knight h4. So you see the computer's plan, yeah? It's not very clear, yeah, what he's trying to do here. He's just shuffling around, yeah, you can say.
I mean, he's gonna make a breakthrough with the tuner. So what is the breakthrough?
I'm not so sure. You see, he's just shuffling around, yeah, with his moves.
Forever?
Not forever, but okay, for quite some time. I think okay, he will slowly play G3 F4 anyway. But
I mean,
he's
that's
not
the
just
only, like, is there any other
that,
plans in this position?
no plans. That's the only plan.
So, okay, I found the G3 F4 idea. I found that G4 a square has to be taken care of. So I did consider something like moving the queen, maybe even knight F1, knight H2. But
Mm-hmm.
I think I totally did not consider this bishop trading bishops.
Trading
Missed that.
bishops,
What other big
which
ideas do you think existed that I should have
no,
been
I
able to
mean
see?
no, I think that's it. That's pretty much it. I don't think there is any second idea here. I just wanted to say that if I mean just in case, uh so because we just discussed that we need to improve our pieces and we need to look for pawn breaks, yeah. And also today we saw that we need to stop opponents' pawn breaks. The same way, we also have to understand that improving the value or the strength of one or couple of your pieces, it also means that you can exchange your opponent's good pieces.
Mm,
Like for example, in this position, yeah, it's very obvious, yeah, black has a bad bishop. So if we exchange his good bishop with our bishop, this bishop becomes like even worse, you can say.
right. True.
Okay, maybe right now black is not feeling it because he has an active bishop, yeah, and he has some control of the squares. But if these bishops just automatically vanish right now, then everybody will say that black has a horrible position, yeah, just because of this bishop.
Right.
So I think that's one of the like the key takeaway of this position. I mean, the whole purpose why I gave this position is to make you understand that sometimes simply exchanging few pieces also improves your pieces. Like your existing pieces on good squares even become better.
Mm, right.
Okay. By the way, this game was Karpov's game. So this was Karpov's idea. I think it was Karpov Anderson.
Like Adolf Anderson or what kind who?
Yes. I mean, like the Anderson which Karpov was playing. Yeah. So I know. Wait, Karpov cannot play Adolf. Yeah, it's too back. It's
Adolf
Ulf.
Anderson is way older, I think.
Yeah, it's Ulf Anderson,
Oh,
the
okay, okay.
Swedish grandmaster. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I mean this bishop e2, queen d1, knight f1, knight h2, and it's pretty much forced, yeah. Like you can black cannot stop it, right?
Yeah.
So just by exchanging, and I'll just show you. See, let's just play the moves a bit more. You will automatically see that after some time, I mean the advantage. So let's just check here. It's still the same sort of advantage, yeah. And see, all of a sudden it's +4 when f4 is like unstoppable now.
Mm.
Okay. So
After
just by
F4, basically
exchange,
the bishop is opening up. Everything is opening up with a lot of heat right now, right?
yes, he can't stop all these things.
And Queen C2 then in that position
Uh,
after Queen C2, what happens?
Here I think I'll still play f4, yeah.
So now you don't really care about the queen anymore because you just
Not
want to
really,
get it.
because I think you cannot take, yeah, like I have some tactics here. So you will probably lose a pawn.
Tactic is checkmate, right? On F8 and H8.
Yeah, checkmate, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
So in that way, I think this was a very good example of like improving your pieces.
Hmm.
And also the planning part, I also like very much, yeah. Like as you said, f4 is obviously the only plan for white, but how best to achieve it is also necessary. When I looked at the position, I actually knew that I have to play f4, but my preparation was a bit different. Like I was actually trying to play this, and rook f1, f4, like as quickly as possible. And I was always concerned, how do I stop this bishop a4 from happening?
Hmm.
Then I realized that I have to play g3 f4 because I was not able to achieve my first plan. So I was trying to play like knight f1 followed by g3 f4. But I was somehow not very convinced that that's the main idea. Because some part of me always kept me telling that my knight should go here, even if I have to play g3 f4, I should play knight f5 first. But then I saw the solution. I mean, the plan which happened in the game.
Well,
It
no, I
was
mean the knight f5 I considered briefly, but that plan can only come with the plan of trading on f8 and sacrificing something on h6, which is not easy to do because of the queen,
not
right?
easy to do. Yeah, it's not easy to do. I mean, it looks attractive, but how do I achieve it? Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, he has a lot of defenders, king and queen.
So yeah, that's it.
Hmm. Yeah, good example.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect, Rafi. So I think for today we will have to stop here.
Okay.
But okay, we will resume and continue with this thing. Okay.
Okay. Cool, man. Yep, sounds good.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
let you know
Rafi.
about
Thank you.
tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have some
Yeah,
time.
sure. Yes,
We'll have to
yes.
play it by ear, unfortunately, because of my work
So
pressure, but hopefully I'll have some time.
yeah, don't no need, no, I mean no worries. It's all fine.
Okay, cool, man. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.